big hello.
From the film club.
Hello.
Hello from the film club. Hello from the film dub, where we will dub each other's voices just so we don't have to hear what Andrew is actually saying. I'm joking, Andrew. Just about. Now, tonight's show is a fantastic lineup here on the Extreme Improv Xstreamed Geek Battle show, where we will work out who is this week's Geek of the Week. Now, on the show tonight, we have lots of performers who are going to try to be this week's Geek of the Week, and we're going to start off with our introductions round, where each of our performers will give a random geek trivia fact in the quest for a bonus point, which I will give out subjectively and abuse my power. So, Capelthave, tell us things. Say hello to the people.
Hail, hailing from the land of leopards, elephants, and witches, which is me. I have actually two facts, a bad fact and a good fact. Which one do you want first?
Neither really, but let's go for the good one.
Oh, the good one is, I just saw The Northman, and it's really good, and it's a lot of fucked up, but it's really good. Historically accurate. See, they don't have horned helmets. Horned helmets are not a Viking thing. They're just made up.
I've been to Denmark. They definitely have helmets. Right, so...
No bad fact? What about the bad fact?
That was the good fact? Right, okay.
That was the good fact.
Go for it.
The bad fact is, so, you know that the Halo's now a series? So the thing is, the original music...
Is it? You've never mentioned this before.
Yeah, I haven't. No one did. The thing is, the original composers for that awesome epic Halo theme, yeah, they said do not put that in this series. I'm not sure the reasons why they said it, but the thing is, they actually revoked it from using it. So there is no epic music in the new Halo series, but get this, the music composers actually said, any fan can use that music without paying a penny. But the Amazon TV series should not use it at all. Did they just look at the...
Hang on, this is a good fact. This show is going to get a new theme from next week. If I can use that theme.
You can use that.
Just going to have the Halo theme. Oh, whatever it is. Right,
it's completely copyright free for any fans, but not for the Amazon TV show. I think not Amazon. I think it's from HBO Max. I think they looked at the script and like, no way you're putting music on this. Not our music.
Okay, well, I'm going to be fact-checking this, and hopefully by the end of the show we'll have a new theme tune. But, okay, Capelthave, I'm going to give you a bonus point. If this turns out to be inaccurate, I'm going to revoke it. But, Dave, say hello to the people and tell us a random geek fact.
Hello to the people. I'm Dave MC, and I am in Paris, France. My geek fact, because this is the only thing fresh in my mind, because I'm playing a lot of Assassin's Creed at the moment. I'm doing like a chronological playthrough from Odyssey up to Syndicate, and I found out the original Assassin's Creed with Altair was originally a sequel to The Prince of Persia. Where it was called Prince of Persia Assassins, where you would play as an assassin protecting the Prince of Persia. So the two games, the Prince of Persia and Assassin's Creed, originally were going to be in the same world as each other until we got what we have now. That
is a very cool fact. I like it when spin-offs become their own thing, except for sometimes I do actually think, that would have been cool if it stayed with what it was originally going to be.
The thing is, they did launch one Prince of Persia game, which I thought was really good, but then afterwards, there were no Prince of Persia games. It was all Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. Okay, I can't find anything. It says Halo composers say dispute with Microsoft, wait for it, have I found something, is amicably resolved. Royalties for...
Oh no!
Right, hang on. Filed a lawsuit, composer in 2020. Okay, they have resolved their differences. The pair even explored blocking the launch of Paramount's Halo TV. Okay, Cap, you can keep your point.
See? That script is that bad.
Yeah, look at that. But, like, surely they signed over the rights to these things.
No, it's a weird thing. But, again, you should check that, David, because I definitely think the fans are allowed to use that music.
Okay, I'm gonna keep searching. But with that, Dave, what you said. Let's see where we can go from here. Andrew, say hello to the people and give us a random geek fact.
Hello, people. I'm Andrew in the UK. My trivia geek fact is once again Bond related. Sorry, David.
I don't mind James Bond.
It's the 60th anniversary of James Bond, so my
What,
plan
you're
is
saying for the rest of this year?
No, my plan is 60 episodes of Geek Battle, 60 Bond geek facts. So
60 episodes. Hang on, I need to clarify this. 60 episodes of Geek Battle, 60 Bond facts. This is literally episode number 55. So you're going to keep doing Bond themes for longer than this show has ever even existed up to this point. Okay, let's get the next one. Let's go.
Anyway, at the end of of every Bond movie, it always says James Bond will return. In the early films, Sean Connery and Roger Moore films, it would also say the name of the next film. So at the end of The Spy Who Loved Me, it said, "But James Bond will return in For Your Eyes Only." Moonraker ended up being the next Bond movie. The Spy Who Loved Me came out in 1977, the same year as Star Wars. They scrapped plans for doing For Your Eyes Only and did Moonraker instead because of the success of Star Wars. So at the end of Moonraker, it says James Bond will return in For Your Eyes Only, which makes For Your Eyes Only the only Bond movie to be teased twice.
Well, you only teased twice. That's my favourite Bond film. Right, okay, Andrew, that was interesting enough. So only another, I think, 57 facts to go. Marty, say hello to the people and give us a random geek fact.
Hey, everybody. In the early issues of the Fantastic Four comic back in the 60s, the first appearances of Galactus, it appears as if he is not wearing pants. It could have been a coloring mistake. Those kind of mistakes were made quite often back in the day, where they would think a character wasn't wearing tights, and they would color them a white flesh tone instead of the color of the tights, and it would look like their skin rather than the tights. So I don't know if it was intentional that he didn't wear pants, or if it was a mistake. They later gave him pants.
No, I'm just wondering, is that the same thing that happened to the movie? It was a giant mistake. The special effects guy, we bring Galactus into this. We don't know how he looks like. Let's put a cloud.
No, that was just a poor judgment on the movie makers. That was being lazy because they thought, oh, a giant guy is going to look silly. But then Marvel proved them wrong later by doing Giant Man. So,
I mean, I think Fantastic Four movie in the 2000 was silly, so they could have gotten away with it.
Okay, so Marty, I'm going to give you a point. I heard something about Galactus and him not having pants on, and that sold it enough for me. Other than that, I'm trying to find out. Bungie's original soundtracks are royalty free. I'm getting somewhere, Cap. I'm getting somewhere. Yeah. Right, so in the comments, Jana says Yahoo. Maybe she says Yahoo. Do you remember Yahoo? That's old school, isn't it? I still have a Yahoo email address. Right, so with this, we are going to get on to our next game. And, well, our opening proper game, really. And we're going to do the same game as we did last week, because it was such a resounding success. And for this, the way it's going to work is we are going to do basically a game of one versus everyone. So everyone will be tasked of thinking up what their specialist subject, where they can name the most things from a category. So the example would be if you said Star Wars characters and that you think you can name more Star Wars characters than everyone else on the show combined. So it will always, so the order would go, if it started with Dave, if Dave chose Star Wars characters, which I feel he may actually do it, his reaction, it would go Dave, then David, then Dave, then Cap, then Dave, then Marty, then Dave, then Andrew, and it will follow that order. If anyone other than Dave suddenly feels like they can't come up with another one, they can just say for help, and one of the other performers can give them a guess at an answer. If whoever doesn't come up with an answer within a 5 count, or whoever says something that's already been said or an incorrect answer, will lose, and then the others will win. So, if you guys want to number yourself, Dave, you're 1, I am 2, Cap, you are 3, Marty, you are 4, and Andrew, you are 5. Dave, you will actually get to start first. Now, do you want Star Wars characters after we've made it so, like, we've been there,
Well,
we've done that?
I mean,
It's his thing, David. Let him be.
The nerd in me would say, yes, I have to do Star Wars.
Do it then. Do it.
But I also know this a lot. I also know Doctor Who a lot as well. So.
No.
Well, you
do I go? Oh, Star Wars or Doctor Who? What do I choose?
If you go Doctor Who, I'll pick in Thundercats.
Sure.
Go on.
Okay. Can somebody else go first?
No, you can go first.
Okay. Oh, I'll go first. Okay. Doctor Who episodes.
Doctor Who episodes? Shit, you think I remember the actual names of the episodes?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Okay, let's look at our team here. This might just be down to me and Dave to try and do this, and Dave's definitely going to win. Okay.
That's why I picked it.
You're going to hear a lot of helps.
Yeah, you're going to hear a lot of help, and you're going to be... I'm going to be rattling my brain, because I can't think of more than 2. Right, Dave, you will start off, and then it'll be to me.
The Unearthly Child.
Blink. No, then it's Dave, then it's Cap.
That's the thing. Web of Fear.
Cap.
Help? Is there something called the Weeping Angels, right?
No, that's not the name of the episode. It's Love and Monsters.
Love and Monsters.
The Invasion.
Marty.
Help.
The Stolen Earth.
Journey's End.
Andrew.
Help.
Amy's Choice.
Rose.
Rose. Okay, it's back to me. I'm going to say, I don't know. Dalek.
Oh Christ, where's it gone? It's gone! Oh God, it's gone! No, it's gone.
We win! Okay, we beat Dave. Dave, I'll tell you what.
I had a blank at that point.
Well, do you know what? Like, you had a blink. Right, no. Okay, here's the thing where we could have gone on. Because I was about to lose. And when I said Dalek for the Christopher Eccleston episode, I was suddenly like, Invasion of the Daleks. Resurrection of the Daleks. Any word of the Daleks, and we'd have been fine. Right.
Had you said Invasion of the Daleks, you would have lost. Because that's not an episode.
Why is not?
No, it's not. You have death, like stuff like Death to Planet of, but there is no Invasion of the Daleks.
Oh, okay then. Fair enough. Well, luckily we didn't lose, Dave. You did. Now then, everyone else gets 1 point. Dave, you would have got all of the points, but this occasion you did not.
Damn my ADHD brain.
Don't worry though, Dave. Don't worry though. I am literally going to keep... Good, look, there's something we're going to speak about in a minute, and everyone else is just going to want to, like, shoot themselves. But we did get news of a new Doctor this week, so that is a talking point we'll have. So I'm going to keep it on the Doctor Who theme. And we're going to go with Doctor Who Monsters. Doctor Who Monsters. So you're probably going to win this time. You guys will win this time. But, so it'll go me, then Cap, me, then Marty, me, then Andrew, me, then Dave. And I'm going to start things off. DB Frick says, Doctor Who? I'm leaving. Right. We're going to start things off. Daleks. Cap.
The Weeping Angels.
Cybermen.
Oh, shit. Help.
Adipose.
Slovene.
Help.
Soltaro.
The Master.
Zygon.
Because they're villains at other times. The Time Lords.
Who is it?
It's Cap.
It's Cap.
Men Patera.
Okay. I'm going to say Jesus. I can't think of anything. Werewolves.
Help.
Audience.
Oh God, I'm gonna lose now. Cybermat.
Help.
Draconians.
3, 2, 1. Gunslinger.
Help.
That's me. Ogrons.
Oh God. 3, 2. Cyber controller.
Help.
Ice Warriors.
Oh no. Sea devils. Boom.
Help. I mean, always help.
Silurians.
Oh no, that was what I was gonna say next.
Yes!
Right, okay. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No, I'm out. Right. Okay, you guys get the points. You get the points. Okay, so good stuff. Capital Fave, what is your category?
You're gonna be public
Disney
cash.
shows.
So TV shows.
What?
Yeah, Disney TV
Oh,
shows.
Disney TV. If it was just TV shows, we may be here a while.
Disney TV show.
Okay, DB
Okay.
Frick has said, I literally have no idea what you're talking about. We're doing a game, DB, where unless you just mean about Doctor Who, where it's kind of like one versus everyone else, where one of the competitors will have to name things from a category, and then they will take turns back to that same person of their chosen category with everyone else. And if they go wrong, then everyone else gets a point each. But if they win, then they get all of the points that would have been available. So, Capital Fave, you will start things off, and then it will go to Marty. Disney TV shows, take it away.
DuckTales.
The Wonderful World of Disney.
Gargoyles.
Andrew.
One Division.
Oh my god, I forgot about the Marvel one. Ugh. Loki.
The Lion Guard.
The Hawkeye.
Chip, 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 and Dale. Rescue Rangers.
Mummy's Alive.
The Wonderful World of Color.
Wow, they're all Disney shows. Shit. What if?
Moon Knight.
Damn it. Oh, I hate you. Quackbusters.
Hannah Montana.
Oh no! Monsters Inc.
Recess.
No.
No.
No. What? Why no?
Monsters
That's a
Inc. is a TV show.
Monsters Inc.
There's
is a movie.
a TV show. New
It's called,
TV show.
yeah, but that's called Back to Work.
Yeah, it's not Hollywood.
Oh, with that. Oh, whereas last week everyone won their categories, now this week everyone is losing their
I
categories.
got to.
Marty, it's over to you.
Planet of the Apes, the original franchise characters.
Oh my
What?
god.
Well,
Holy shit.
next week I'm going to say members of my family, all right?
Hey,
Picking Thundercats next.
screw you! Screw you
I'm
with
the
your Doctor
Witcher.
Who bullshit.
In fairness,
Okay.
David started it because he said, Dave, do Star Wars. Like, no, I'm not going to do Star Wars.
Oh, yeah, I started it. Your background is of Daleks.
That's beside the point.
Okay, Marty. Planet of the Apes characters. Go.
Dr. Zaius.
That's the only one I knew. Andrew.
Help.
Cornelius.
Yes.
Zira.
Go on, Dave.
Nova.
Lucius.
Caesar.
That's gone what
Taylor.
What am I gonna say? James Franco, help!
John Lithgow, Mark Wahlberg, Helena Bonham Carter. I don't know.
Yeah, any of them, pick them.
Okay, so with that, Marty, you take the points. Okay, Marty, if that's how it's gonna be,
Let's have a round two. Let's have a round two.
Okay, right. The gauntlet has been thrown down. Andrew.
Well, screw my original pick. Characters from the sitcom Cheers.
Okay, go for it.
Sam Malone.
I got nothing. Help.
Norm.
Yep. Diane Chambers.
Dr. Fraser Crane.
Carla Tortelli.
Wait, Dr. Fraser Crane's in it, so I can say Niles?
No, he's not in Cheers.
Help.
No.
Okay, Marty, help him. I don't know any.
Dr. Lilith Sternen Crane.
Rebecca Howe.
Coach.
It's Andrew.
Cliff Clavin.
Marty, help him.
Oh, is it me? Carla Tortelli.
I said that.
Oh, and Andrew takes the points. Andrew takes the points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So, with this, we are going to go on to our next round. And after our opening couple of fun rounds, we're going to have something that isn't fun. No, we're going to have our patented discussion minute or two. So, before we get on to Doctor Who, let me just throw it out to anyone else. Is there anything else that's happened within the world of geek fandom over the last few days that is boiling your guys' blood that you need to talk about? Could be a good thing, could be a bad thing, whatever you want. Andrew.
Multiverse of Madness?
Hang on, Andrew.
Well, it's not boiling my blood. I read the other day that they're planning a follow-up to This Is Spinal Tap.
What?
Yeah.
That's insane.
I just heard details on that today.
Wow, I don't know what to make of that. The only time I've seen This Is Spinal Tap was when they did a little bit of it in the Simpsons episode. That's all I actually know of that film. But yeah.
You've never seen the original movie?
I've never seen the original movie. I won't.
David!
Wow.
You'll watch Haunted Honeymoon. But you won't watch
Don't bring Haunted Honeymoon into this. So help me God, Marty. Right, no. Haunted Honeymoon, Gene Wilder, Gilda Radner, Dom DeLuise. Like, it's got a brilliant cast of... It's got werewolves. It's a haunted house. Oh, it's so good. Right, okay, so... okay, well, let's put it to the room. Like, Capelthave, Dave, have you seen This Is Spinal Tap? No. Right. But okay, so on the flip side though, to be fair, have you heard of Haunted Honeymoon?
Not until
yes,
yesterday.
see, exactly. See,
Not until yesterday.
They love Gene Wilder. He was like a national treasure, not just for the United States, but he also did a lot of stuff. He trained in the UK, and he probably had nothing against Sri Lanka. So there we go, Marty. Right, okay, so what do we know about This Is Spinal Tap 2, the lumbar puncture?
I didn't read the...
You didn't read the headline. So this is what's like hot. This is your hot news of the week. I saw a headline. I didn't want to read it.
Well, the original cast are returning.
What? Why are we talking about it? Nobody's seen it but me. Andrew, have you seen the original movie?
Not in years, but yeah.
I thought you were going to be like, not in so many words. Oh, wow. Okay, so has anyone else got something that is on their mind?
Have you guys seen the Multiverse of Madness? All of you?
I've seen it, and I'm not going to lie, without giving spoilers. So who here has seen it?
See what?
Doctor Strange. Okay, Marty.
I'm sorry.
Get out. No, okay.
There's
So
always one.
right, okay. So let's give it a review score out of 5. So Cap, what would you give it out of 5?
3 for the visuals.
Okay, what would you give the overall film for the out of 5?
A 2. A 2.
2. Okay. Andrew, what would you give it out of 5?
4.
4. Dave, what would you give it out of 5?
I'm kind of like with Cap on this one. I hate to say it, but I agree with Cap. I'm kind of 3 for like visuals and like all the background stuff. Yeah, look at him. He's happy. He's happy over there now. So I'd say 3 for visuals, but for overall story, I would give it like maybe a 2.5.
Wow. I think I'd give it probably. Honestly, I would have given it like a 5 out of 5 for catering, hair and makeup, probably. A good solid 4. Script revision, best boy grip. That's definitely a 2. He didn't put in as much effort as I thought. No, for the film overall, when I saw it, I came out of there thinking this is like a solid 3.5 for me. But I was aware that I might like it more now I know what it is, because my expectations were up here and it delivered about like midway through Andrew's screen below me. But I might like it more within time. But then as the days have gone by, I feel slightly more angry about it. So just because I feel like it should have done more. I don't think I have the same problems with it that Cap does in terms of the story. But it just didn't give me what I needed. Marty, what would you give it out of 5?
Well, I haven't seen it.
That's
so.
never stopped a reviewer before.
Yeah.
I'm way behind on my movie seeing. I'm sorry about that.
Have you seen Iron Man 2 yet?
Yes.
Okay.
What do you think of it from the trailers?
David, I know David wants to talk about this. I did finally see the Batman, so.
Right. Okay. Well, we'll talk about that.
I just want to say,
I'll let you know when I see Doctor Strange, so we can talk about it.
Yeah.
I will say for those you guys that have seen it, like, did it fit? For me, I was poring it over today. It felt more like a sequel to WandaVision more than a sequel to Doctor Strange.
Do you know what? I'm going to agree, just because the weird thing with these Marvel films is like sometimes this happens where like we got Iron Man and we got Iron Man 2 and nothing that happened in the Incredible Hulk like interfered with that before, and then we got Thor, which didn't interfere, and we got Captain America, which didn't interfere, and then we got the Avengers, and when they went to Iron Man 3, they kind of just mentioned what happened in the Avengers a little bit, and so it felt like it was still continuing on what had been set up in the first Iron Man film. And what I think has happened since, because the first Doctor Strange film was literally years ago now, so
Yeah.
we've had Doctor Strange in 2 Avengers films, we've had The Blip, and then obviously it was basically Doctor Strange and Wanda, both as, it could have easily just been called like the Wanda film with Doctor Strange in it. And it just felt like they've so far moved on from what the first story was. And again, this isn't really going to give any spoiler about it, but if you remember the end of the first Doctor Strange film, I forget the other character's name, just because he hasn't...
Wong?
Who? No, not Wong. Like the other guy. Who? You got? I don't know. Right, I couldn't understand. You both spoke at the same time. But anyway, he is in Doctor Strange 2. But when he was like, "I'm the bad guy now, and I've turned evil," whoever that was, right?
Baron Mordo.
Yeah, there you go, Mordo, right? It's been so long since that character's had a mention. Whatever they were setting up and planning isn't what they did. Whatever their plan was back then, it was almost, for me, for that character, without giving spoilers away, it was like, well, we've signed him up to the sequel, so he's got to be in it. But clearly, this wasn't what the original plan was, and they have moved on massively. And also he's
from another universe, and he's not.
Well, don't give the spoilers. Don't give the spoilers, Cap. Don't give spoilers.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
But what I was going to say, in a similar sense, like with Spider-Man, clearly they were like, "Oh wow, Into the Spider-Verse was a big deal," and they wanted to put Andrew and Toby into that, and they were like, well, no, they were probably like, well, if we're going to bring them back, we'll put them in the live action one and do a multiverse thing. And so after Spider-Man Far From Home, and it was like all this stuff like Mysterio and whatever, it was clearly like they dropped some of this, and it was just like, no, let's go all in on the multiverse thing. And so whatever the original plan was went away. Just like in the Incredible Hulk, they started setting up, I forget the name of the character, but like there's the scientist.
The leader? Abomination.
No, not Abomination. There was like the other guy that starts to mutate.
The leader.
Guy.
Okay, never got picked up on. And then, like, many years later, there's something like, yeah, we're going to bring back the Abomination. But it's like that clearly, whatever their plan was originally, hasn't followed through. So changing plans.
I think that, because like, this, I don't know if this would be a major spoiler, you can berate me if I do, but I think it would have been better if Doctor Strange
didn't die in the first. Yeah, absolutely. Like, and then,
I'll
then
say
it's
one
all
thing
just
about him.
about his client. Yeah, I know.
There's a good thing about that one afterwards.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say it would be better if it all tied into like Spider-Man. So it tied more into Spider-Man than it did like going off on its own thing. Because in Spider-Man, he opened up, he made the universes cross over. So it would have been better if there was more of a tie into that as opposed to just going, oh, we're just going to go walking around now. It's nothing. We're just going to walk around like it's nothing.
Yeah.
And also, here's the thing that like something there's similarity to wrestling. They're like bringing in so much characters with so many different powers, and also the power levels are vaguely defined, and it doesn't make the fights or like the story kind of okay, they can have pull stuff out of their ass. Why do I have to invest so much in this battle?
I'll tell you what really ruined it for me in terms of powers and power levels was the Eternals. Just because, first of all,
here they come, the bastard children of Marvel.
We're going to put in a line where it's like, yeah, it doesn't matter that the universe was going to be like ripped in half. We weren't allowed to interfere, even though we're the most powerful beings in the universe. But then, where it really lost me is it turned out that the Earth is a giant egg with a celestial inside, and they're going to half emerge. And then, like in any other shows that have like a sequels to this, like if Hawkeye came out after, we're just going to be talking about our Christmas shopping. Not that the fact that the Earth was a giant egg and there is now like a giant person half emerging from it.
Is that what Easter Island's for then?
Do you know, quite possibly. Because remember when they scanned it and it turned out they're not just heads?
Have you guys seen that? Have you guys seen the meme where it's
Easter
like
Island
Easter
heads.
Island heads, and then the foot is like the Stonehenge?
Well, but here's the thing: the Easter Island heads aren't just heads; they have bodies under the earth.
I'm sure.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? No, they genuinely do. This has been proven.
They do.
They genuinely do. Genuinely do. Right, Martin.
I think Marvel should, and I think they talked about it at one time, but they didn't follow through. I think they should make a television show on Disney Plus called Damage Control. In the comics, there is an organization called Damage Control, and what they do is they clean up after all these big superhero battles or all these things that happen, like the Celestial emerging from that. Damage Control would come in and they would take over how to fix that or how to spin it. And I think that would make a very interesting show, possibly even quite funny if they took it that way, to clean up some of this weird stuff.
Do you know what though? I'll tell you something. And I'm not saying that would be bad, but that sounds horrendous to me. No, and I'm going to tell you why. I don't mean that, but I'll tell you why I don't like the idea of something like that. Because in Loki, when they introduce the idea that there's the TVA, and there is this like agency who sort of oversee things and police things, and it's like every moment in time someone's checking that it's all in order and is meant to happen. It just means that there's no spontaneity to anything, and it's like no bad. Like it didn't matter that Loki was trying to take over the world. They were like overseeing it and they were allowing it, knowing that he would fail, or even if he was supposed to succeed, they would have allowed it or could have stopped it. And then what I will just say, just on this, and I don't know if any of any of you may know. Does anyone remember a TV show called Good Night, Sweetheart?
Yes.
Good Night, Sweetheart. You know, it's not the greatest show ever, but the concept of it, well, in fact, like they'd never get away with it nowadays. But I'll briefly tell you about it, just so you're all on board with it. It was a British sitcom, and there was a guy who found that when he got lost somewhere one night, having to try and take a shortcut, he went through an alleyway, and he emerged and found out that it was like 1939, and so he'd travelled through like a hole in time, and whenever he'd travelled through this particular alleyway, he would arrive back in the past, and so he'd go to the past, and he met a girl there, even though he'd got a wife in the present. Spoiler, he ends up married to both of them, and that's why they couldn't do this show nowadays. Because they needed to have a reason why he'd stay in the past and want to stay in the and go and want to come back to the present and vice versa. And so they'd never really get away with that nowadays. But this whole thing for like 4 or 5 series was that he'd discovered this hole in time, and he'd go back and he'd have the hijinks of, oh, I'd play this Beatles song and no one's heard of it, so he'll take the credit. Before the movie Yesterday, right? But anyway. And then suddenly in about series 5, suddenly some guy's like at the alleyway, and he's like, "Oh, excuse me, what are you doing?" He's like, "Oh yeah, there's a rip in time here, and like we're from the time agency, and we're just like got to repair it." He's like, "Oh no, but I need to go back in time because my wife is back in time," and stuff like this. And just the idea that this like mystical, magical thing has someone that's like an authority over it always really ruins things for me. So if there's like the cleanup crew, or if there's the TVA, I just think like it's just that it takes away that these things can just happen and they can be a battle. Cap.
Damage Control actually has appeared, though. They were in the first Spider-Man movie at the beginning. You know, the Vulture and his crew. You know, they steal the
Yes,
oh, wow.
That's what I was. That's what I was going to say. And also, Marty, the Agents of Shield. They basically do the same job. I think that for their seasons, but they basically kind of what they did. They come up to Avengers fans like, "Oh, look at this! There's, I think, who's the guy who died? Why, Dave? Why?"
Wait, who
the
died?
guy the Coulson guy. I think he came up in one Avengers battle and he said like, "Oh, well, they left this tech." Just stop nodding and say something. It's freaking me out.
What do you want me to say, Cap?
Yeah, but like, Agent Coulson, isn't he just part of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
No, after his death, he leads the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's like another story that goes on. I'm not sure about the show, much of it, but I know this thing. They kind of come up and clean up a little bit after what like this Avenger battle happens.
I watched all the seasons. Their stuff kind of skirts around the edges of what's going on in the MCU. But not really a part of it, but kind of skirting the edges.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was all right. It was television quality. It could have been better. I feel like.
Go Andrew.
I was going to say the final season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because I finally got around to watching it. You know, when I got Disney Plus, and I was like, oh, it really went downhill. Like gimmick episodes, traveling back to certain eras, like the 1970s, and it's like every cliche you could possibly.
Yeah.
Like,
it started strong and just kept. In my opinion, it just kept getting weaker and weaker and weaker.
Well, wasn't the idea originally like because wasn't it like a thing in the first series? They was like, oh, Nick Fury's going to pop up, and they probably thought, oh, more people are going to cross over, and then like the movie division were just like, we don't really care about.
Yeah,
this.
they never did.
Wow. Same with like the Netflix things. It's only literally the Disney Plus shows where they've actually tied things in, and then we're complaining that it's a sequel to WandaVision. So, like, why didn't Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. tie in to the Avengers? And then it's like, I can't believe Doctor Strange is a sequel to a Disney Plus show.
And also the other thing is, like, with Doctor Strange, there's always been a problem. Like, even in Infinity War, there's, like, millions of ways he could actually defeat Thanos. Just, like, not even... They had a loop saying that, he looked at all the timelines and stuff, there's only one... I can't give this without giving spoilers, so I'm not going to say this one. This is a huge problem in the movie for me. But the thing is with Doctor Strange is that, like, even the portal power, that solves all the issues. Cut off Thanos' arm, drop him in it. Didn't, like, in Ragnarok, he dropped Loki in an infinite hole, so he kept falling and falling, wasn't a problem at all. He could do that to anyone. Basically, and like in Endgame, the biggest thing that he was doing is that their dam broke and a river was flowing, so he was like, I will use my mystic power to hold the river. Like, none of the people can swim.
Well, like, couldn't have he just, like, Doctor Strange sent Thanos to Dormammu and let them, like, kiss it out, you know, basically?
Maybe. Because he had the, is it the Space Stone that they can travel in the MCU? Is the Space Stone they travel? So possibly they could be, I'm not saying it's true because it's not confirmed. Potentially, he could be in the realm of Dormammu and just use the Space Stone to get out. Potentially. But
Dave, here's the thing. So, isn't that only works in our universe? Isn't Dormammu from another universe?
That's why I said potentially. It's not.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. And the stones, as not what if Loki showed us, they don't work in a different.
Yeah,
dimension.
they're basically useless.
Okay, Marty.
In the comics, I don't think Doctor Strange ever. Maybe later, the first couple of times Thanos died. I mean, who knows how many times he's come back and died. But the first couple of times that they fought Thanos, Doctor Strange wasn't even around.
Wow. Okay. Andrew?
Well, bringing it back to the new Doctor Strange movie, no spoilers. The reason I gave it 4 stars, I'm sure I've said it on Geek Battle before. Whatever, you know, I'm not a massive comic book person. I'm not as invested in the MCU as other people are. You know, my main interest in the new Doctor Strange movie was it's directed by Sam.
Bond.
Yeah, when he showed up, my God.
James Bond in the multiverse.
But it was, you know, Sam Raimi directing it. So as a Sam Raimi fan, I wasn't disappointed. His fingerprints all over the film. I enjoyed that aspect of it. And
I think if the studio wasn't interfering with the movie as much, it would have been a lot better. Possibly, it could have been a lot darker.
Yeah.
If Sam Raimi was they just said, here you go, Sam, off you go.
Yeah. But speaking of killing Thanos, right? So, but like, here's the word. Like, they kind of like ruined it. Like their own logic within like Infinity War and Endgame as a 2-part story, because there's that whole scene where they're like, you know, that's not how time travel works. You can't go back into the past and change this, you know, and like literally, War Machine is just like, you know, let's just kill baby Thanos, and it's like, that will be the future, not our past, and you can't change the past. But then Captain America went back in time and married Hayley Atwell, and so clearly he could change things in the past and end up back in this timeline.
And their excuse was, David, that he went to another timeline where the Carly Carter's freeze and had a life, and then used the thing again and came back to this universe just to deliver it to Falcon and then went bye-bye to that other universe.
Wait, but how did he get back?
With the machine.
He waited.
Oh, no. He didn't stay in the same timeline. If he stayed in the same timeline, the machine is like bonkers. Which basically
so you're saying Captain America dropped off the Infinity Stones, married Hayley Atwell, got back in the time machine, sat around for God knows how long, as an old man, just sat on that bench outside the bench HQ, just watching the fight.
So how did he go to a different dimension? Because he had to drop the Infinity, the one, whatever the ancient one, said like, you know, Hulk was like, I'll bring it straight back to this moment, so it'll be like it never left. So Captain America had to take it back to the correct timeline. Yes. And also, this was before Loki, so there was only the sacred timeline.
Again, a lot of issues.
And also,
here's the thing, like, it's the ancient one. Yeah,
go on, Marty.
It's based on comic books.
This is why I don't.
Comic books.
This is why I don't.
Wait, you can't wait, but like, so like, but this It's still real to me, damn it.
Yeah, you can't keep us invested. You can't keep us invested if it's all bonkers. You need to have some sort of.
Yeah.
That's why you can actually root for the character.
Oh,
Otherwise,
I'm so sorry.
it's comics. Who cares?
Look, this is
Everything
called.
has to
Look,
make
Martin,
sense.
you've got to understand. This is called Geek Battle, not Geek Acceptance. That wouldn't
Yeah,
be a
but-
show that would go down well with anyone.
Yeah, but at the
Welcome to
same
the
time,
Geek
if you-
Acceptance Show. Plot
At the same
holes,
time, if-
flaws, we take it all.
At the same time, if you think too deeply about all these things, you just
Every show has to have a curmudgeon, and I am that curmudgeon.
it's like it's like religious people if they view the Bible as a rule book. You
Yeah.
into a sea of contradiction.
Yeah, we are
I
religious
believe Jesus
zealots.
turned water into wine, and I believe the Virgin gave birth to God's child, but a man doing this to make portals, that just don't make no sense.
And so here's the thing, like remember the line of in Infinity was like, Doctor Strange is meant to be the greatest of us, and in Spider-Man he basically lost his job.
How did he
He's
lose
also-
his job? Oh, what? Because one
He's not-
was the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah, he's not the Sorcerer Supreme anymore.
Ah,
But
no,
he still
but
has
hang on,
the time
hang on,
stretch.
Cap, hang on, right? So if I have to take a phrase from across the multiverse into the world of DC, why do we fall so we can learn to pick ourselves back up? So Doctor Strange, just because he lost his job, that failure will be what ultimately makes him who he needs to be. Just like losing his hands led him to the Mystic Arcs.
Actually, David, if they actually put this as his personal arc in the new movie, I would have loved this film.
Yeah, but Cap, that doesn't change the fact that in this multiverse, you just got your ass handed to you by a quote from Alfred.
Yes. Yes. Alfred Pennyworth. Okay, so I should have read this like 10 minutes ago, but David Sarton said this is Spinal Tap 2 had better open up the Christopher Guestenverse. If there's no best in show / for your consideration / mighty wind crossovers, what are they doing? Should have read it 10 minutes ago. I know less about it now than I did then. Okay, so Marty, you have seen the Batman, I take it.
Yeah.
I did. I watched it the other night on
Well, so
HBO
I
Max.
need to check in because you just announced this. If your role here is to be the curmudgeon, is it because I was disappointed with this film and you now love it?
Yeah, anything that you hate, I love. Anything that you love, I hate.
David, you hate the Batman?
I didn't hate it at all.
No,
I just
I-
felt that it was a complete retread of what we've seen before.
I have obviously I have some problems with it. There are some things I didn't like, but I liked the tone, and I surprisingly I liked Pattinson as Batman.
Batman.
Wow.
I think Bruce Wayne needs to be tweaked a little, but here's the thing. Here's why I was able to accept it. It's because he's in this movie. He's a Batman who doesn't quite have his 10,000 hours yet. He is still learning. He's making mistakes, and I kind of quite liked that.
My big critique is that I love everything about that film except for one thing, is that when like they shot this as a horror film, they make you afraid of Batman, and I really enjoyed that. Like, finally, yes, I'm gonna, the criminals are scared of Batman, but when he steps out of the shadow and fights the thugs, that ruined it for me because
That's like the first scene.
yeah, that's I was like, yes, Batman's gonna be this monster figure from I think in the game Arkham Origins, where he comes out of the shadows Batman's this brutish figure. But when he comes out, he kind of gets beaten a lot in this film, and sometimes I go, I don't think he should have taken that kick. I don't think he should.
But it's as Marty said, it's early days for him. He hasn't clocked in those many hours yet.
But
Yeah.
he looks so human, I would say, as Batman. I would say, he doesn't look menacing. There's I mean, I'm not offensive to Patterson. I don't want a giant to play Batman, but maybe a giant wouldn't hurt. At least make him a little bit, menacing in appearance. Because he didn't seem all that menacing when he's up against criminals, because they all basically look his height.
Okay.
Well,
Marty, go ahead.
Batman doesn't really get big and bulky and menacing until like his older days when he's like the Dark Knight. When he's been old and he's retired, and then he comes back to the suit.
So how old is he in this film exactly?
Which film?
In this Batman.
I'd say like late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah.
Still, he would have been grown, right? Right?
What I didn't like, I mean, I thought the Riddler sort of worked, but I was like, why couldn't he have looked a little bit more like the comic book Riddler? I think they could have tweaked that a little more.
I think.
And then,
well, go ahead, and I'll come back to that then.
And then Colin Farrell, even though he did a good job, he was basically just doing a Robert De Niro impression the whole time, and I didn't see any relation to the Penguin at all.
Oh, you didn't see the walk when he was tied up. He did the Penguin walk.
He did, yeah. He literally did do the walk.
Okay,
well,
so,
that's not enough for me.
Look, so the look of the Riddler, they based it on the descriptions of the Zodiac Killer, which I just brought up here. So first of all, that's like the Zodiac Killer description, but he also would wear some weird mask and hood. And so the combination of the mask with the glasses on, that was the...
Well, you know what?
They made it like the movie Seven, basically.
You know what?
What?
That's the fucking Zodiac Killer. That's not the Riddler.
No, but look. So, but the movie...
No!
But hang on. Bear with me. So, the movie Seven has basically got the character John Doe, Kevin Spacey, like doing these, like leaving these like puzzles and clues and things that people have got to work out, and they're basically riddles. And the Zodiac Killer was the one that would like write the ciphers and stuff like that. So realistically, if you're going to have a, you're right, Dave.
I haven't seen Seven.
You haven't seen Seven? Don't worry. There's no it's about the Seven Deadly Sins.
It's basically Batman. It's basically
like
Batman.
Do you know what? If you enjoyed the Batman, you will probably enjoy Seven a lot. But like, so when you've got all of these superhero films and they're all getting more and more fantastical with like the Earth being an egg and whatever else is going on, just suddenly making the Batman and tying it into like, well, look, there's a character and he's a serial killer, and now it's Batman basically versus something which is going to give people real life chills because it's very close to actual serial killers. Then I thought that was a good move. That was one of the things.
Yeah, I just think there's a way to do that, but you can move
still
a little
have the
bit
spandex.
closer. A little bit close. No, not necessarily spandex.
Jim Carrey and his suit.
I think I
Yeah,
would
that's what Marty wants to carry it
Marty
out.
froze for a second.
What?
No, you froze for a second, and everyone like leapt into the space. Go ahead, Marty. Say what you're saying.
No, I just feel like they could have done something maybe with the derby hat and some kind of mask that would have been like, I don't know, just that whole. I didn't know they were going for the Zodiac Killer thing, and I would just like to see. I mean, I like it when they take the villains a little darker and make them grotesque a little bit, but I just want to see more elements from the comic book used in creative ways, so that they're more identifiable. If you just showed me a picture of that dude, I would have said that's not the Riddler.
Yeah. No, I get that. Like, I'll just say on that, just about the costume still, like, the thing I thought about it, it's like, the costumes in this movie, so, like, Batman had got a Batman costume. Like, Catwoman's costume, no one is dressing up as that at Halloween. No one. No one is dressing up as the Penguin. All of the costumes were shit. But, like, nothing was memorable, nothing was iconic, and literally, if anyone does dress up like the Riddler, they will just get arrested. Okay, everyone's got their hands up to go to the bathroom. Andrew, you can go first.
Okay.
Okay.
I was just going to say, one of the things I liked about the Batman was, it was very kind of, whereas the Dark Knight trilogy had a lot of scope, which I liked.
This had none.
I liked the claustrophobia. Like, it was very. It's hard to explain, but You know, like
Scary.
movies that are
Scary.
kind of. I didn't find the film scary, but like the chase sequence with the Batmobile or whatever it's called was very. The only thing I didn't like about the sequence, is the geography of it got a bit confusing, like where they actually are. But I did like the confined nature of the film. Like it wasn't like here's this big sprawling city or here's the world. Here, it was sort of.
Yeah,
Gotham.
I like that in films. I do like that. I agree.
Gotham City I feel like it should feel that way, very claustrophobic and like almost like every street has a cathedral on it, kind of thing,
But like
that god.
the thing with there was characters like the other police officers were like, "Hey, what are you letting this freak in here for?" But why wasn't anyone was like, "Why are you dressed like that?" Look, if you want to be like a private investigator, fine. Why are you dressed like this? You're walking into the crime scene and doing detective work, and you're a bit shit at it. But why are you dressed like that? Like, why? No one cares.
Whatever you say, don't talk about the dress.
If it's going to be like the Adam West Batman, where you have like Commissioner Gordon and Batman and Robin and there, just let's solve
we
it.
could say that. We could say that about any superhero.
No, but like
Why are
either they should
dressed
have
like
accepted, like Adam West, that the other cops are like, "Well, what do you think, Batman?" And then he's going, and he's going to solve it. Or they should have been like, literally, why are you dressed like this goof? Like, because they were like, I can't believe you let this guy in here. But no one was questioning, like, why don't you just do this but dress it like a man? Why don't you just not a bat, just dress like a guy? Wear a suit.
You want to be Batman?
Well, exactly. Just be a man. Just like be the someone the
Just be a
guy that's going
film
to solve
noir.
this crime.
Because nobody's gonna go see a movie called The Man.
What? You're saying that no one will see a film about actual human beings?
Well,
No.
I missed that
the
missing.
movie. I loved the movie Seven, but the problem was Morgan Freeman wasn't dressed as the Squirrel Man, so I just gave up on it.
That's right.
I remember that. Sorry.
No, go ahead. I was just going
I was going to say, I remember that missing dialogue when I was playing the Arkham games. They were going, "Where is he? Is he on the gargoyles? Who's his tailor?"
Yeah, I remember that line.
Just that one guy.
What is this as well? Like, who is making all of these costumes? Now, literally in Spider-Man No Way Home, at the end, I think they showed that he had to, like, sew his own costume. And I know that in the New Adventures of Superman, literally it was Martha Kent with a sewing machine, and they literally did a 1980... If you haven't seen the first episode of the New Adventures of Superman with Dean Cain as Superman, in the first episode, Martha Kent is sewing Superman's costume, and he's trying on different ones in the mirror.
That's gonna last.
Like, what about this one? And then you have some that are almost what they go for, and then it's like one and it's got like a mask and stuff like that. And it's just like terrible. But who's making all these costumes?
You know, the weird thing is like in the new animated show, it made it like the suit came from Krypton and stuff. But now they did the DC animated movies rebooted, so the next Superman is the Superman Man of Tomorrow. And in there, Martha Kent is the one actually gives him the uniform. And she says like the clothes came with the ship, and she used it to tailor it into the Superman thing. And my question was, what kind of needles did you use to tail that? I mean, it's impossible as Superman.
Well, does Superman... Okay, so what's the explanation? Does Superman have an aura, which is like a protective shield so that his costume doesn't get burnt?
Artie?
In the 1980s reboot of Superman by John Byrne, it is explained that for some reason, no explanation, but there's some reason that when there's cloth right up next to his skin, something about him keeps it protect the cloth doesn't get doesn't shred, but the cape, obviously the cape will, but the fabric won't. It's not believable, but it's just comic book stuff.
No, there is something to that.
Keep saying it's a comic book.
No, there is something. No, there is something to that, Martin. I think there was like one of the people who looked at like medieval armors and stuff, looked at the superhero spandex and say like, yeah, if you have like invulnerable skin, a thin layer that is almost close to your skin is going to provide more protection because there were some things that it's because like if you have a like a little space between them, the impact comes and it can literally penetrate out. But if it's like close to your skin, I don't perfectly get it, but they say is that it's because it's more tight than layered toward your skin, that your skin absorbs more of the impact, so the clothes don't get that much damage.
So you're saying the next time I go out and fight crime, I should wear spandex that's tight to my skin so it will deflect bullets?
Yeah.
If you have invulnerable skin.
So, do you remember when they did this thing with Superman where he was literally had a shorts, like a t-shirt on with jeans? Like this was a few years ago. This was like 10 or 15 years ago, where Superman's costume was that he had jeans on and a t-shirt, and this was actually like the costume.
They were Chuck Norris action jeans.
Well, yes.
But like in the Man of Steel, the thing is that suit comes from Krypton, and it's basically like Zod's armor, except it's tailored in a way.
Cow?
Yeah.
In a way, probably.
Okay.
I think you
But now I have to say one thing to David is that before we move on from the Batman, when David brought up the egg problem in the Eternals, I can't. The thing is, the problem is that like the whole Thanos' arc is that there are limited resources on planets and people are going to starve when the resources runs out. But who cares? The egg's going to burst anyways, and then the planet's going to die anyway. So I mean, like if you reach that much, that's the whole plot of the Eternals. When there's like human flourishes into a high population, the collective consciousness now works into the egg, and now the Celestial is born. Basically, that's going to happen to every planet, right? So why do you have to worry about running out of resources? When they run out of resources, the egg is going to burst. That's basically what's going to happen.
But also, right? So if Thanos was it just a case of like when he clicked his fingers, any of the planets that have got these Celestials in? What was if he had blipped away a Celestial? What was if he had blipped away the Celestial in the core of the planet Earth? Then like the whole planet would have just caved in because there'd have been this massive cavern in it. Marty?
Well, see, in the comics, Thanos, the original Thanos didn't do it for that reason. In the comics, he did it because he was in love with Death.
Wow.
And he was doing everything to try and impress Death.
And did it work?
No, she was in love with Deadpool.
He was defeated.
Oh, but what did Death? Did they end up happily ever after still?
No.
What? It's just unbelievable.
Because she loves Deadpool, David.
I mean, if you count the Thanos comics where he meets his future self, then kind of, maybe. But, no.
Yeah.
But isn't that the thing? Like, she likes Deadpool, right? That's the whole part of the story. That's one of the reasons why Thanos cursed him.
I didn't read that one.
No.
In the original Thanos comic, in the end, he gets turned to stone, basically.
Wow.
That was by Nova, wasn't it?
No, it was. I think it was Adam Warlock that did it.
Yeah.
In the Deadpool game, so basically, when you're about to die, Death would come in. She would have romance with Deadpool, and he would always heal up, so she won't be able to be with him forever. But I literally read like Thanos cursed Deadpool to be immortal because if he truly does die, he would go and live with Death, and he doesn't want it. So he's like he blocked him from death, apparently, within the Infinity Stones.
Yeah. Right. Well. Anyway.
That's weird.
Yeah. Right, guys. Like the time is really getting away from us. Like normally this show would have ended by now, but we've only done like 2 minutes. So let's just quickly begin. Let's go. I'm going to do 20 questions. I'm going to think of a film, and then between all of you, you have to work out what it is. Oh, it doesn't have to be a film. What would you guys like?
I don't care. Whatever you want to
I don't care. I don't want to do this. Right. Okay. So let's go for a movie then. Let's go for a movie. I'm going to get one that comes up on this app, but I'll make sure the one I choose is something geek related at least. And let's see. Okay. Ooh, I've got a film for you. I have a film. Okay. 20 questions. Dave, you get to ask the first one. Yes or no questions.
Is the film from the 1990s?
No. Okay, Cap.
Is the film in the 2000s.
Do you want to qualify what you mean by that a bit more? Because anything past the year 2000 would count.
You got my trick question.
Well, no, because I can
2000
answer it. Then you might not know which. What.
2000 to 2010.
Joe, let me just double check. It's close. So, let's see what year it was. It was 2000 to 2010. Yes.
Is this a science fiction film?
No.
Okay.
Andrew.
Is it part of a franchise?
Yes. That's 4 questions gone.
What we say, it's not a sci-fi film, it's part of a franchise. Does it have more than 3 sequels?
This film does not have more than 3 sequels, but there is more than 3 in the series, if that's what you mean.
What?
If you're asking me if this film has more than 3 sequels, no, it does not. But
Maybe it doesn't have prequels.
well, it's just part. It's part of a series. I'll put it like that, and there are more than 3 of them overall. I'll clarify what this means later. It's just you'll understand when I explain.
Okay.
But there are more than 3 of them overall, but not. Yeah, go on.
Okay.
Is this a superhero genre?
No.
Is this a fantasy genre?
No.
What?
Is the lead character male?
Yes. Yes, I believe so. Let me just 100% double check. How? Yeah. Yes.
Let's go for another genre.
That's 8 questions, by the way.
Is it a horror film?
Yes.
Oh no. 2000. What is the 2000? There's like the Grudge franchise and also the Scream one. There's what else? Insidious. What other franchises are happening in the 2000s?
Insidious doesn't have more than a couple of films.
Okay, so what about the Grudge films? Do they have Japanese films also, right?
If you're counting
I think there's
American,
Japanese
there's 2.
version.
Japanese, there's like 5 of them.
Yeah, let's remove the band-aid. Let's go with it. Is this a Japanese inspired film?
Is it a Japanese-inspired film?
You know what? Scratch that. Scratch that question. Is this a? Oh, I can't make. How do I make it close to Grudge?
Just ask, is it the Grudge?
Yeah, I can ask that, but it doesn't. That question qualifies as a guess?
Yeah, if you ask that, it would qualify as a guess.
Go for creature or something. Just ask something about the creature. If it's a horror
Okay.
film.
I mean, every horror movie is about a creature, right?
Not necessarily.
No.
Okay, so I'll ask it. Is this film feature a creature?
No.
There you go.
Okay, Marty.
Does this series of film feature a puppet?
Puppet. Yes.
Is it Dave?
Andrew.
Is this series about a serial killer? Was
No.
this puppets?
Actually, I'm going to revise. I'm going to revise depending on someone's definition, because there are deaths. I'll give you that. You could interpret it as yes, more yes than no, but technically no.
Ah.
Okay, Dave, and that is 12 questions gone.
Okay. I'm gonna just throw it out there. Was the puppet voiced by Brad Dourif?
No. Okay, that's 13 questions.
Does this film feature some kids, like teenagers or like people in their 20s, as the main protagonists?
As the main antagonists?
Protagonists.
Oh, protagonists. Unless I'm remembering wrong, for the most part, I would say no. 14 questions.
Can I ask a question and then guess?
Yeah,
Or do I need to
you can guess whenever you want. But if you're wrong, you're frozen.
I understand. I think I may have to throw myself on the tracks so that someone else can get it. It may be that way because we have to name which film it is in the franchise.
Oh my god. Ooh.
Does this film or these films feature elaborate traps?
Elaborate traps? Yes.
Is it Saw?
You're asking, so your guess is the film Saw.
This is my guess.
The film is not Saw. Incorrect, and with that, Marty, you're frozen out of the game.
What are the other names for the Saw films?
Don't even try. If it's not Saw, it's not Saw.
Okay.
Okay.
Andrew.
I don't know now.
15 questions gone.
Oh, sod it. Is this film part of the Saw franchise?
Yes.
See?
See?
Oh.
Why didn't you just ask, is this part of the Saw franchise?
I was setting them up so they could find the right film.
Ah!
Okay, well that is 16
questions left.
questions gone. You have 4 questions left, and between you, 3 guesses.
Okay, I'm gonna go for this one. Should I just guess and then let you guys go? Because I might get this wrong.
The clues have been there. If you think about the answers, you can absolutely know what film this is from the information you have.
Yeah, I think I know which one it is now.
I also have an idea.
I do, but if I say it, that just leaves you and Andrew Cap.
No, you can guess it. You can.
All right,
you
I'm gonna go for it. Is the film Jigsaw?
No.
Oh.
Okay, I'm going to interpret that at that time as your question. So,
yeah.
Just because it came in the normal running of things. Because Marty used his guess early, then that would have meant that, he's used what I'd have let people have at the end. But, okay.
No, I have 2 theories. One is that it could be the Chris Rock film, but it came out now. It didn't come out in the 2000-2010. So it's not the Chris Rock film.
Of course, it's not Jigsaw.
But there's also another one. But I'll ask it a question, and then if it is, then I can guess. Does this film is part of the Saw franchise as a parody?
That is, I'm sorry to say, the dumbest question we've ever had. No, because literally, if it was Scary Movie, then everyone would be like, that isn't a Saw film.
It has Saw.
Oh, Cap.
Not part of the franchise, mate.
Dear. Right, no, I'm afraid not. But you didn't guess, was it a scary movie, so you're technically not out. Right. Okay, we know it is part of the Saw franchise. Right, okay.
I mean, you can't argue Scary Movie 5 isn't part of the Saw franchise. It had the puppet.
Okay, Andrew, this is question 19.
19. Sorry. Is it Saw 3?
No, it is not. Cap, you get the final question, and then you can both have a guess unless you want to guess here, Cap. But I would recommend you try to work out information first.
Isn't Dave supposed to be the one to get the final question?
Dave's...
I've already guessed, mate.
Yeah.
Dave's out.
Guessed it. Oh shit. What question? Give me a question. I know nothing about Saw.
I can't help you. I want to, but I'm afraid to screw it up.
The only question I can think of, because I haven't seen all of the movies, the only question I can think of is, does the movie have Shawnee Smith in it?
Which one was Shawnee Smith?
Answer that question, David, because I got nothing.
The woman.
Was that one? Oh.
Okay, someone asked me a question, for the love of God.
No, that's the question that what Marty asked, because I have literally got nothing.
Okay, what was your question, Marty? You can just ask it full Cap.
Is Shawnee Smith in this film?
I'm going to have to double check that. In my head, instantly, I'm going to lean towards no. But it's not impossible just because this franchise has a lot of flashbacks. The answer is yes. She is in this film. Is the answer I have to give in my yes or no fashion.
Should I Google the actress?
Kat and Andrew, you have one guess each. We know it is not Saw. We know it is not Saw 3. And we know it is not Jigsaw.
You know what? I'm just going to Google.
Wait, how would you know it's not all of these things? Because only 2 of you have guessed.
Yes, but everything starts with Saw, and you said it's not Saw.
But hang on, there have been guesses, right? Is it Saw 3?
Yeah.
Is it Jigsaw?
I guessed
Yeah,
Saw 3.
Oh, you guessed. So, okay, so Cap.
This is Cap.
You just have, yeah, my bad. Okay, so Cap.
David, you win!
No, Cap.
Oh, wait.
Have a guess.
So David asked if it was.
I'm going to have to rush
Jigsaw.
you for the answer here.
David asked if it was Jigsaw. Marty said, "Is it Saw?" What did Andrew guess?
Saw 3.
Saw 3.
What number should I go? Okay, should I go 4 or 5? No. No, Saw 5. Is it the Chris Rock film? Saw 2? Is it Saw 2?
Wait, which one are you going for? The Chris Rock film? Or are you going for Saw 2?
I'm going for Saw 2 because it came out.
Oh, it is not Saw 2. If you had gone for the Chris Rock film, Spirals from the Book of Saw, then you'd have been wrong as well. It was Saw 3D. Saw 3D is what I was looking for. Came out in 2010. So in that
I didn't
sense,
know what 3D was.
so Saw 3D, I believe, was number 7. And since then, there was Jigsaw and Spirals from the Book of Saw, which meant it hasn't had 3 sequels, if you see what I mean. The franchise has had like 9 of them. And then the other thing is it about a serial killer? The whole point is Jigsaw didn't kill anybody. So in that sense, he's not a serial killer. However, Saw, by the time we get to Saw 3D, I forget the character's name, but it's like he has a disciple who does literally kill some people. So you could say, he's a serial killer. So,
right now, a
the
real
detective.
serial killer is watching this and going like, "Oh, that's a nice trick that I can use."
well, yeah, exactly. They're making their Riddler costume as well. So, with
That's a
this,
lot of
what I
film.
can say is Jimmy Mack in the comments wrote Saw. Then it's Spiral, or the one whose title I always forget. But then he writes Saw 3D. So he had managed to narrow it down to that one. And then he said, "Is it Muppets Take Jigsaw?" Not quite, not quite. So with that, no one gets.
Well, I was close with Saw 3. I just forgot the D.
Yeah, no,
You
you
just
forgot the
forgot the
D.
D.
You forgot the D. You should always remember the big D. Right, so with this, we're going to go on to our last round, and we're going to do 1 minute each, just because time's got away from us. 1 minute of impressions. And let's see, Andrew, you'll start us off. You will have 1 minute to do as many of these impressions as you can. Everyone else can buzz in if they think they know what the impression, who the impression is of. For every one that someone guesses, Andrew gets a point, and so does the person who guessed it. So, Andrew, with this, here is your list, and your time starts now.
Phone home.
Yes,
Dave.
E.T.
Yes. Peter Pan. Bad boy.
Buzz.
Cap.
Captain Hook.
Yes. Matt Murdock's best friend.
Buzz.
Marty.
Foggy Nelson.
Yes. There are no strings on me.
Buzz.
Dave.
Pinocchio.
No.
What?
Marvel.
Oh, Buzz.
Cap.
Ultron.
Yes. Tom Hardy.
Buzz. Bane.
No, the other one.
Marty.
Buzz. Venom.
Yes. It's probably not that. It's probably the Star Trek character, but the Bond gadget guy.
Bond.
Buzz.
Marty.
Q.
Yep.
Simon Cowell.
The X-Files.
The Smoky
Buzz.
Man.
Yep.
And that is time. That is time. Well done. Good
Got a
one
clip
of
of
it there.
Andrew going pass.
Okay, so let's have a look. To go next, roll of the dice, and we will have Dave. So
Okay.
Dave, going to get your list ready now, sending them over, and your time starts
Okay.
now.
I'm so old, and yet I'm getting so young. Oh,
Buzz.
Marty.
Benjamin Button.
Yeah.
Uh,
I need to... Doctor, I'm in love with you, but you just left Rose.
Buzz. Martha.
Yeah. Me, not with the blister.
Me, not with the blister.
The
No.
gesture?
Me, but not with the... pass. I slay vampires, and I also work with Fred from Scooby-Doo.
Cap.
Buffy.
Yes. What the hell is that? I don't know who you are. Pass. I will push this stone for several years, and I will get very big and strong.
Buzz.
Marty.
Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah.
Wow.
No idea. I'm one of the turtles. You got a name? Which one?
Cap.
Michelangelo.
No.
Buzz. Donatello.
Buzz.
No.
Marty.
Raphael.
Yes.
Ah.
I'm gonna push this button and get really small.
Buzz. Buzz. Scott Lang.
No.
Oh no, Cap.
Ant-Man.
No.
Marty.
Buzz.
Oh, Atom.
Hank Pym.
Yes. Matt, here you want to
Oh, hang on.
go.
That is time.
Aw.
You can just do
What's
that one
that?
because you'd already started. Go for it.
What was the blister?
What, the one I did?
Yeah, just do that last one that you were doing.
Matt, here you want a medal? If I can catch that pigeon.
Oh, Buzz. Dick Dastardly.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Right. What was the blister thing?
Dave Lister.
Oh,
Ah,
I don't even know who that is.
Red Dwarf.
Who is
Red
Dave
Dwarf.
Lister?
Okay.
Red Dwarf.
Red Dwarf. You don't know what Red Dwarf is?
I know a Red Dwarf. Just because I'm British doesn't mean I watched Red Dwarf.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Let's roll and see who'll go next.
Dave list.
Okay, Cap or Fave? Here is your list. Oops, and your time starts now.
I am Spider-Man's girlfriend.
Buzz!
Buzz.
MJ.
Yeah, say the full name, please.
Mary Jane Watson.
Correct. I'm from Lord of the Rings, but skip. I'm Dave's guest for today for the game, not Star Wars, the other one.
Buzz.
Marty.
Doctor Who.
Correct. But yeah, this fun part. Skip.
No Red Riding
the hell
Hood.
are these people? Skip. Okay.
Skip.
I'm from Guardians of Galaxy. I'm the rabbit.
Buzz!
Buzz.
Rocket Raccoon.
Rabbits.
Correct.
The rabbits.
I'm Superman's girlfriend.
Buzz.
Dave.
Lois Lane.
Thank you. Skip. Skip. I'm Captain America's villain. I am Thor.
Dave.
Buzz. Red Skull.
Correct. I'm from the X-Men and I throw cards.
Buzz! Gambit!
Buzz.
Gambit.
Yes. I face the Riddler and I wear a mask and people should ask questions about that.
Buzz.
Dave.
Batman.
Correct.
Oh.
That's all I got.
What? Oh, just make one up. The Witcher!
You're Captain
I'm from Star Wars.
You're me. You're me.
No.
Dave.
No.
Andrew.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
No, I become evil.
Buzz.
Marty.
Anakin Skywalker.
Correct.
Okay, that's time. Sorry if I didn't give you quite enough there, or you just rattled through them. Wow.
I just ran through the list.
That's
I didn't
the
know
buttons.
any of the people.
It's because they're not
Oh,
either
if you had
Thundercats or
skipped
Witcher
some, yeah, I
characters.
guess. Okay, so who has not had a go yet? Marty and myself. Let's roll the dice. It will be me. So once again, as always, keep track of how many you get, just because it'll be easier for me to award the points at the end of this. And here is my list. And time starts now. Oops, hang on, restart the timer. Oh, shit, I don't know how to do it. Right, there we go. Say my name 5 times in the mirror.
Buzz.
Dave.
Beetlejuice.
No, 5 times. Marty.
Candyman.
Yes. Right. Bob Cratchit.
Buzz.
Dave.
Buzz. Ebenezer Scrooge.
Yes. Oh my god. I am a tree.
Buzz.
Marty.
Groot.
Yes. Mr. Potter.
Buzz.
Cap.
Buzz.
What's his name?
Yes. I'm going on an adventure.
Buzz.
Dave.
Bilbo Baggins.
Yes. Well, gee, Lois, I'm actually in love with Lana Lang. Right, Cap.
You are the bad Superman.
I'll accept. Right. Let's have a look. Blah! I do not say blah blah blah. Cap.
Buzz.
Cap.
Dracula.
Yes. We got one.
Buzz.
Dave.
Receptionist from Ghostbusters.
What's her name?
Peggy.
No, skip then.
Little
Right.
shit.
Okay. We want to, must have the pressure. Stupid.
Buzz.
Dave.
Buzz. Gollum.
No. The other-
Smeagol.
Buzz.
Yeah, Marty.
Smeagol.
Yes. And that is time. That is time. Right. Okay. So, how many did you get, Dave?
2.
Two?
I got hacks though for the Gollum.
Okay, Cap, 2. Okay, 1, 2. Marty, 3. 1, 2, 3. So, how many did you get, Andrew? That looks like a 6 to me. Right, okay, so that means that I got 7 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so guys, what I will say here is Marty will win this. Marty hasn't gone yet. He has the most points. So
No one guessed.
there is no strategic way for us to work together to defeat him. Right, so
You
Marty.
could just not guess.
Well, no, it doesn't matter. Because sometimes it could be It's like, well, this person will win unless, like, because like the person who's doing the impressions will get the most points in the round, unless the one person who's got a tiny bit more than them guesses everyone correct, then they would move up together. Marty is in the lead, and so there is nothing we can do at this stage. But
It's my world, and you live in it.
yeah, so at this stage, like, we've given away the ending of the show. Marty will win. The question is, by how much? Now, with this, Marty, I'm going to send you your list, and here you go.
Oh, I am back.
Arnold, the Terminator,
Which
the
one?
T-800,
No,
The,
Cap,
1,000.
the T-1000.
no,
the T-101,
no,
The T-2000. The T-2000.
no. One more try. One
What
more.
was?
Dave,
T850.
No. Skip.
Terminator 2, Judgment Day.
I am. At night, I turn into a werewolf.
Buzz, Capelthave,
Wolfman?
What is my name?
Buzz, Lawrence Talbot,
Yes. My boyfriend's a robot. His name is Roy
Buzz.
Batty.
Buzz.
Andrew,
Oh, I
Dave,
Capelthag.
I'm a replicant.
Buzz, Blade Runner,
Oh, Skip. I am wrapped in bandages from Egypt.
Buzz,
Buzz.
Cap,
You're the mummy.
Yes. I travel in space as I'm a space superhero.
Buzz, Space Ghost.
Yes.
Yes.
I fight crime with my daddy, my big daddy.
Buzz.
oh,
I don't know.
Buzz.
Andrew.
Hit Girl.
Yes.
Oh, damn it.
I fixed the Enterprise.
Buzz.
Buzz.
Cyclops. No, I don't know.
Buzz.
Dave.
Geordie LaForge.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, and that is time. That is time. So, well done, everyone. Well done. It
It was the T-3000. Which movie is that from?
T3000.
It's not in any of the. It's probably
There
just
isn't a
on like
T3.
a.
There isn't a 3000.
Yeah,
in,
there is. It's
in
just
the
like
movies anyway.
it's probably in like a video game or something. Let's look up.
I mean, it's inflated.
That's why I
right?
said not in
There
the
might be-
films. There's probably one in the books and that.
That's why I was just like, Skip.
Terminator has books.
Oh no,
Yeah,
there is.
yeah.
The T3000 was in whatever one this was. Genesis.
Ah, the
Genesis.
Genesis.
Yeah.
Oh,
Look.
I didn't see it.
Well, if you want to see a Genesis, there you go, guys. There you go.
Hey.
Right. So, anyway, now then,
Oh, who won?
right, Marty won.
The tension's killing
The
me.
scores were: Andrew had 16 points.
Really?
Dave had 17 points. Cap had 17 points. I had 17 points. And Marty had 25. So well done, Marty. You are this week's Geek of the Week. So, with that, that's going to begin to wrap things up here. As we do our outros, everyone's going to tell you where they can find them, plus one piece of advice or recommendation in a geeky fashion for the following week to come. So, Capelthave, where can the people find you, and what would you recommend or advise people to check out this week?
You can find me here on Geek Battle and also on Xstreamed most of the times, and you can also find me in Swadleys, where I sing, I dance, I throw myself in a bucket, I work with puppets. It's on YouTube, TikTok, and also Phoenix 360. I'm doing a new code series, so go and check that out. My recommendation is, those who Disney nostalgia people, this is like one of the things that introduced me to Disney. Go watch the short series they've called The House of Mouse, which is like a Disney multiverse thing, which has all the Disney characters, and I love it so much. So check out House of Mouse.
Okay. Dave, where can the people find you?
You can find me on my Instagram, Dark Nocturnus, and my YouTube, Dave MC, where uploads of my Star Wars Let's Plays will be following as soon as I'm able to upload. You can find my puppet friend who appears on Xstream at Nerdy Blueberry and his YouTube channel. Just look up Nerdy Blueberry. You might find him on Xstream, or you'll find him somewhere doing something. Recommendations, I haven't. Put me on the spot, but I can't think of anything really. But I would recommend actually. I do have something.
Clone Wars. Say
Do
Clone
you know what?
Wars.
I'm so upset we didn't literally discuss the new Doctor at all.
We didn't know.
We discussed shooting
I was gonna
Gatling
say,
next week.
check out on Steam. They've got if you like the Batman stuff, they've got the Batman Telltale series on there. The original Batman Telltale, and they've got The Enemy Within. Both really good games. The story dynamic, every choice you make leads to a really good conclusion. Go check out that one. It's on sale on Steam, I believe.
Okay. Andrew, where art thou?
I am here. God help me. My recommendation is this book, Blood, Sweat and Chrome, the wild and true story of Mad Max Fury Road. Really
I'm
good
reading
book.
it right now.
Yeah, like I'm reading it right now. Blood and I'm not reading it anymore. Right. Okay, so my name is David Pstansky. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at David Pstansky. My recommendation is if you get one of these mini Sega Genesis, or in this case Sega Mega Drive, check out the back because it's got this bit that comes off and it doesn't do anything. There is nothing underneath, but it does actually come off. So like you can take this section off and there is like nothing underneath. And you can also
the
open
portal
up
to
the
the other game dimension, David.
Yeah, exactly. Right, a game to mention.
Yes, game dimension.
Oh, the game dimension. I thought you said, have I got a game to mention? I was like, what have I been playing? Right, okay. So, with that, my recommendation for the week is everyone should protest and say that they should continue the Snyder Cut because, you know, damn it, look, I'm never going to give up on this thing. That is the true Batman. Pattinson, I'm coming for you. Right, Marty, our winner. Where can the people find you?
On Instagram at What Would Jesus Glue. On Xstreamed Improv tonight, I'm doing live improv here in Seattle. Ticket information is right up here. There's still tickets you can buy online if you want to. And I don't know, as a recommendation, I guess before we went on the air today, we were talking about Viking movies because Cap saw The Northman and he said he liked it. So I'm going to recommend, there's a movie called Pathfinder with Carl Urban that's pretty good. There's a movie called 13th Warrior that's pretty good. And there's one called Valhalla Rising with Mads Mikkelsen that I don't think I've seen, but I've heard is really good.
Okay.
Is it good, Andrew?
Yeah, it is good.
Wow.
Cool.
Okay, well, that's going to wrap things
So
up.
Viking movies.
So, as always, audience, make sure you smash that subscribe button on youtube.com/Xstream Improv. But also do check out, because there is a Geek Battle YouTube channel, and I've just uploaded a long-form video on it where I say about every difference between Back to the Future, the musical, and Back to the Future, the movie. And it's quite a watch, I can guarantee you that. Also check out Geek Battle on TikTok and lots of other stuff, because on TikTok I did actually bother to mention the new Doctor, but we'll discuss that next week and Marty will be thrilled. Till next